the race card. People always tell me, oh, no, don't think like that. You know, we're past that stage about race and everything else. Everybody's human beings. Well, I don't see it like that. You know, every time I turn around these days, I'm looking at something that has to do with race, okay? And lately, I was looking on one of the social media sites, and the first thing I do before I even can get past home, I see the slaves think we're friends. Eliminate all black people. The King Alfred plan. Race, according to Random House Dictionary, 1975, because if you know this or not, Webster's have bought all the little small places that used to put out dictionaries and everything else, and so now everything is kind of just like the media. You know, a few people own everything, and so their narrative is put out there like that. So this one was the one I bought, cost some good money, was back in 1975 or something like that. So they don't have the same agenda as Webster's. So, and it tells me that race is human race and mankind. So how can it be the dictionary telling me human race, mankind, and we talk about, and especially in the United States, the black race, the white race, the pink race, the yellow race, the brown race, and we all know what that means, right? But as far back as I know, black, get back, brown, stick around, yellow, you mellow, white, you're right, and red, you're dead. Because they tried to wipe out the Indians, American Indians from here, which a lot of people say indigenous people and everything else, but I have a problem with all of that because, you know, 100,000 years ago, there was only one group of people that was supposed to be populated the earth. And I'm going to keep telling you that because, you know, you don't want to hear the truth. But you told us and you made us believe and you schooled us, indoctrinated us, conditioned us to believe everything that the Europeans said. So I started thinking, why do a people that I didn't even know, but I understand that the roots of civilization are in Africa, why did this people that looks totally different from me hate me so much? So I asked myself, the first thing I did is started asking me some questions. And I started looking at the differences between me and them. And I don't view them as an enemy, but they view me as an enemy, so therefore I have no choice. So the first question I asked, I went to good old Google, AI, is I wanted to know what was the major difference with me and them, and that was color. And so how do we determine color? They said melanin, okay? And I said, okay, so melanin is a pigment. It's not even an element, okay? Melanin provides color, but it does not have protons, neurons, and electrons, okay? And elements are essential for life, according to my definition that I found out in Random House. And it doesn't appear on the periodic table. And it's not essential for life, they say, I guess, because these things I'm talking about, oxygen, carbon, they're essential for life. Oxygen is the number one essential element, and carbon makes up a large portion of our body mass, which we don't know. And we got to ask ourselves, so which is it? Because, see, carbon, coal, is black. Anything it touches, it turns it black. And so now you're telling me about melanin, and I understand what you're saying about the pigment. But if we also have coal inside us, okay, and we know that the melanin is supposed to be the thing that causes the color, what does coal have to do? I mean, you know, that's an element. That's essential for life. So European people do not have a lot of coal in them too? I mean, I'm just trying to understand all of this, you see, because I'm not as smart as a lot of these scientists and everything else, you know, but I know they taught me way back in kindergarten that off of black, you can make any color. But white, you're right, but you only can make one color. So this is some of the questions I was asking and wondering why people hate me so much, okay? People I didn't even know. Now, the fundamental thing that I'm trying to get to is if elements are the element of life, and we possess more of it than somebody else. We possess more melanin, we possess more carbon, or you know, like I said, that's an element of the periodic table. And I started asking myself, well, if it's the absence of something, they look like albinos to me. I mean, Europeans. And I looked up that and I searched that because, you know, albino comes from the Latin word albus, which means white. Okay, but we know that by looking at anybody mostly, except for albinos, but they're not white either. They're more of a whitish yellow. Okay, and that's a genetic disorder. You know, you're born with less melanin. Okay, and so melanin is essential for color. So the people that don't have a lot of color hate the people that do have a lot of color, who was here when the earth of first Homo sapiens were walking the earth. Because that don't make no sense to me. Because that would make me their parents. That would make black people the parents of everybody. And I know y'all don't like to hear it, but you know, I noticed that a lot of Latin cultures, a lot of other cultures, they hide the dark people in their family. They don't, you know, anything to do with Africa, oh no. But all of a sudden, now, people are starting to want to embrace the people of color in their family, because you understand that for generations you have tried to Europeanize yourself. I mean, there's still people in Asia and all over trying to whiten themselves up. Because, you see, they know that they were the conquerors. And so they wanted to be at the round table with the conquerors. But now the conquerors are deporting and showing their true colors, and they don't want you nowhere around them. They don't even want their own kind around them. The people that used to be in the field with the slaves, you know, like Irish and people like that and all that, they've already assimilated, okay? And right now you can't sometimes tell them from a German or somebody else like that, you know, a European, another European. But they're talking about bringing back, making not only America great again, but they're talking about making the old world order that didn't successfully conquer the world back in Hitler's time. They're trying to bring all of that back. Okay? And so one of the things that's important for them is they have to have Africa. And I don't understand that, because you want to distance yourself away from Africa so far as ancestry-wise, but you need their resources and you need labor. You need so much of Africa that you really want to kill the people and take the land. But guess what? It's a new day. So I'm just trying to understand why, if race isn't so important, why are you trying to take everybody out? I mean, what threat are people to you? Who determines how many people are going to be on this earth? Yes, you set yourself up as a God. You wrote a book, the Bible. You put it all over the airways and you did a whole lot of things. But you know, we were complicit in that. We went along with that. Nobody can make a human being less than a human being. You can write it on a piece of paper, but he has to believe that. I wanted to bring something out yesterday when I read the Constitution. You know how many treaties the United States broke with Indians? First of all, I was told it was 24 broken ones, but that's a lie because they made over 500 treaties, and I don't think they honored either one, not one of them. So why would a black person believe anything about what you say in the Constitution when you made them less than a human being? In your Constitution, you didn't make us in our minds and in our hearts, even though sometimes black people believe what you say. Even to this day, they want to sit at the table with you, but you know and I know that you will never let that happen.